Deyah, I know your pen has taken you to very vulnerable places as well in terms of sharing some of the challenges you've navigated, and you've spoken about some of that as well. How do you like rationalize between strength and weakness? And
I don't really have a problem with being vulnerable. In fact, some of my music people have told me is difficult to listen to because it's almost too raw. It's too much, yeah. But so I don't really have a problem because I feel like I think the weakness is not being able to be forthcoming. I think the strength is being able to just lay it all out. But one time where I was super fake is when I gave birth and I was filming for a Sony commercial like 2 weeks after I gave birth. And I remember filming myself on the way to the Sony commercial, and I was acting like I hadn't just given birth. I was acting like everything was cool. And I remember crying before the Sony commercial, filming for it, and crying afterwards, going back, breastfeeding, then filming and doing studio and whatever. But I was acting on Instagram like I had that perfect balance of motherhood and studio and all of that. But actually, it was the hardest struggle to balance. And because of the industry and my manager, I thought being a mother was a weakness. So I never wanted to admit that actually I've literally been awake all night and I'm blessed my husband can stay home and I can go and film, but I actually just want to be at home with my child kind of thing. So I struggled, and then after I said, no, F this, man, I'm just gonna have to be real, I can't. So when I now post, either way, whether it's personal stuff, I'll just keep it real instead of trying to pretend like I haven't got a child. I got a whole child at home. You know what I mean?
And I mean, there's probably so many reasons that all of us wrestle with that whole need to not show everything in the public eye. One of them that comes to my mind is just ego, right? And I can't lie, one of the first times I saw you, Gov, where I was just like, nah, this guy, he's one the real deal, but two, like strength, was when we were at an award show, and I saw you were helping out with some of the production. So behind the scenes, this is an award-winning musician himself, but I'm seeing him with a lanyard on, and you're greeting other guests, and I was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing there? And you were just serving, bro, and like, talk to me about that, like your experience of like ego and putting that to the side and just showing like straight, like.
Yeah, I think that situation, that was like a Christian award show. And I don't know, I just got a big passion for artists that are talking about this stuff. And it was just my way of kind of giving back. But I battled ego all my life, really, man. And I think the root of it is I wasn't really a secure kid. I was always that one that was trying to fit in. Like, I'm not bad, I wasn't on the roads, but I was around it. And I wasn't, do you know what I mean? Like the coolest of guys in school. So when I found music and it started to validate me, it's almost like it became an idol, do you know what I'm saying? And there's probably two main situations I've been through that come to mind when I've had to battle ego. The first was when my dad passed, and this was like 2017, and it was a massive thing for me. But then I thought, because I've been this guy that's always like mad positive, I've put out music saying like, whatever you're going through, you gotta trust. I didn't allow myself to properly grieve, innit? Because I was like, nah, people view me a certain way and I have to, you know, uphold this kind of bravado. And it just resulted in me breaking down like 3 months later, and I had to grieve. And grieving's hard, innit? But I think I made it harder for myself by not putting my ego to the side. But I had grace for myself because it wasn't my fault that happened. And then I guess the second time is just going through my divorce. Like, recently, that's been a mad one for my ego, because I know how people view me as this like perfect guy, almost like the poster boy for Christian rap in a way in this country. And the weakness is my imperfection. And my ego doesn't want to let people know that I'm imperfect. But I'm a human being, and you know, the Bible says, when I'm weak, he is strong. And so it's about not relying on my own strength and almost embracing my imperfection. Do you know what I'm saying? And just saying, God, like, this is me, regardless of what people think. I know your plan for me. is still alive and breathing, and there's more to life. So there's that thing of holding my licks, taking responsibility, do you know what I'm saying, but also not giving up. But yeah, ego is something I battle every day, bro.
Every day.
It's crazy because it's like, there's a saying where you have to say like, ego is like the giant, like in the mirror, like seeing yourself in the mirror, seeing a giant, but even seeing you speak, it's like there's an even greater giant behind ego, which is something that's so more powerful and people can draw from and look to. You know what I mean? That ego we think we're so big in our eyes, but when you can beat that Goliath, and it's like, bro,
different.
Look how great you can truly be when you push ego to the side. You know what I mean? And I don't know if anyone wants to just speak into that, like where they've needed to push it to the side and they found something even bigger as a turn up.
I think for me, in 2020, I went on like this TV show and I ended up being in a girl group. I got put in a girl group by Little Mix. And I was, in my head, the main character of my life before that point. So, and I always said I'd never be in a girl group. What? No, that can never be me. But at the time, COVID had just hit. And at the time, my management, everything was kind of falling apart. And this opportunity came, and I was like, this is a good opportunity for me. Like, maybe I should take it. I don't know when the next big opportunity is gonna come. Took it, joined the group, but my ego got in the way of it. And I've actually never spoken about this. And I'm sure the girls in the group are gonna probably be shocked they see me speak about this, but I wanted to be the main character. I wanted to be the Beyonce of the group. And at the time, I didn't think that's what it was. I just thought I was better. That's just the truth. And I wasn't, because there was a lot of talented girls in that group, and they're all doing amazing things right now. But at the time, I was just like, I need to be at the front, I need to be in the middle. I didn't say these things, but my actions, you know, you've been saying not everything's words. My actions, my demeanor, my responses, how I'd react to different things. And long story short, like, once the show had ended, we'd obviously been offered a contract to like, keep being in a group and stuff. And like, we'd be in sessions and stuff, and we'd make songs together, and I'd want all the main parts, but again, I wouldn't say anything. But then there was this one song, because at the time we were still making individual music and writing for other people. And I wrote this song, and it was called No Pressure. It was a banging song, beautiful song, but I wanted it to myself. And I didn't want to give it away. At the time, the management that we had was like, this song is too hard, we need it for the group. I was like, no. Me and him were battling this for at least a whole month. All of a sudden, I started getting messages from the other girls. Oh my gosh, I've got ideas for the music video. I said, huh? You've got ideas for the music video? This is my song. Like, I became very territorial over it. I was like, this is for me. This blessing's for me. This banger's for me. It's not for anyone. And I was just me. And I think about that song all the time. And I think about how great that could have been. But that situation was the demise of that group. That group broke up because of that song. I've never taken ownership or accountability for this publicly, but I really felt like my ego had the best of me at that time. And when I came out of that group, my whole career crumbled. Everything that I thought was so great before went down. Losing followers, wasn't getting brand deals, wasn't getting opportunities. All the things I thought made me so special and so big and so great were nowhere to be seen. And then I started seeing other people that were in the group get those things. And I was jealous, I'll be real. I was envious of the situation, because I just thought, I swear I'm better. Like, what do you mean? I've been doing this the longest. Like, what do you mean? And my ego really took the lead. And looking back on it now, I wish I didn't handle it that way. Like, the group might have still maybe disbanded, but I wish it wasn't in my hands. And I wish I was probably closer to God in that time. I wish I seeked his face a bit more. And I wish I was just humble. Like, sit down, like, relax.
One thing that will test your ego is definitely the songwriting. I think that's a sick example.
It was so triggering, and I think about that song every other week.
It's like when you're writing a song and it's a bang.
It's like, no, this is me.
Like, that's not even
It's not even for you. And I wasn't trying to hear that. I wasn't trying to hear that. There was even a point that even came back to me a year later. They were like, you know, it didn't work out. Let's just run it. No. It's still my song. Did I release the song? I'm not even a secular artist anymore. So it ended up not even making sense for me to ever even release. So yeah, I definitely got humbled from that, and
don't beat yourself up.
No, definitely, definitely.
Man's been in similar situations myself. Questioning myself, like,
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? But you don't even know the toxic effect that could have seeped through that situation, that group situation. Would you have really and truly got the fruits out of your labour from that situation?
Maybe
if you
not,
went through that toxicity. But one thing you still have is that power, that talent.
And you know another thing I deeped as well is I never knew I was gonna be a gospel artist. At the time I was a secular artist. So if I had released that song and it did very well,
you might not have.
it would be problematic for me today.
There you go.
So it worked out in my favour.
Yeah.
But at the time, like I said, I never knew I was gonna be a gospel artist. So it did work out, but yeah, grace, innit? Yeah.